Hello, welcome to another weekly update. I hope you're doing well. Kind of a quiet week this week. I was thinking about this morning, and I don't know whether it's always quiet this time of year. We've come off the summer, we've had that flurry of activity, but eyes are on Ignite in about a month's time, and so it might well be that there is often a dip around about now. I wonder if there's a way I could. I don't do a very good job of like keeping track of all of the notes and stuff that go into every show, so it's not super easy for me to kind of look back and see, if the amount of stories and stuff is kind of consistent at this time of year. It's interesting actually because we're going to be talking about note keeping towards the end of this update. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your feeling is. Have things slowed down a little bit? I feel like generally non-Copilot enhancements have slowed down across the board, across the Microsoft 365 board. It's not to say they've gone completely, and I've said before in these updates that I've been impressed actually at how Microsoft have kept the pace up of things and of features and continuing to push the products. But I do think it might be at a slightly slower pace. And then with kind of Copilot stuff, especially as it relates to extensibility, I feel like we might have slowed down a little bit there as well. Whether that's just kind of retooling, the team's just taking a second because they've been working so hard for so long that they may just like have not burnt out, but just need a bit of time to kind of look at that and just kind of sort stuff out before they kind of gear up and go for the next thing. Anyway, a couple of things we can talk about. So a couple of weeks ago, I did an interview, I suppose you call it, an episode with Paolo Pialorsi. He's the senior developer architect at Microsoft. He used to be an MVP as well. Really nice guy who lives in Italy. I did it for Empowering.Cloud, so you can head on over there. What that means is that you can watch it completely for free. It's about half an hour of me and Paolo just talking about stuff, really concentrating on how developers and people kind of new into this space, how you choose what tool to do what when. There's a lot of different ways of doing extensibility with Copilot, building agents for Microsoft 365. There isn't like one tool to use. There's actually quite a lot of tools to use. So we talked about it. We've got a video. We talked through like what an agent is, whether how it works, low code to pro code, the different options, where you can go, what licensing looks like, what payment looks like, and all that sort of stuff. So if that sounds interesting, there's half an hour of me and Paolo talking. You can go check it out at Empowering.Cloud, and I'll put a link in the description. Other things that are going on. So this is not strictly extensibility news, but I think it's worth you knowing about it. There's a blog post out this week talking about vibe working. Now, that's not a term I like, but whatever. But what they're talking about is introducing agent mode to Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about it here is because I wanted to draw the parallels with agent mode in GitHub Copilot and Claude coding, because I'm talking to you folk as developers. I expect by now you've tried out GitHub Copilot agent mode, you've tried out Claude Code, maybe you've tried out some of the others. They're good, right? They're good at what they do. They're not a perfect replacement to developers by any means, but they can improve productivity. So I'm finding them as a developer, I'm finding them hugely productive to turn to agent mode for kind of those lower level tasks, or where I've done the thinking through and now I just want to do the implementation part of it quickly. Really, really useful. I think Microsoft are drawing parallels and saying we could do this for productivity work in Microsoft 365. So we're doing agent mode in Microsoft 365. And on the surface of it, this sounds great. Being able to do more than just ask questions of your data, being able to kind of, move into this agent mode, do these things. Now, this is good. Lots of people have been asking for this. Lots of users have been asking for this. I question whether this is ready. So what I mean by that is if you read this blog post, it sounds quite far out if you've used Copilot recently. I feel like there are questions still to be answered around just the asking Copilot around documents that are not kind of fully worked out yet. That doesn't mean they can't go to agent mode. It just means in that kind of run, crawl, walk, run type of thing, you kind of want to get the basics right first. But there's a blog post out anyway. It's going to talk about what's coming. So an agent mode in Excel and Word, and then an Office agent. I'm not quite sure why that's not agent mode, but anyway, an Office agent for creating PowerPoint presentations. It's kind of, okay, so the agent mode is going to be in Excel and Word first, PowerPoint coming soon. Okay, so it's going to start with Excel and Word and then PowerPoint later. This is kind of what I mean by like, is it ready? Not quite ready yet. It's that kind of like, it's all a bit of it's not a unified story. And then Office agent means that you can do it from chat in Copilot. It means that you can create PowerPoint presentations and Word documents, and then Excel coming later. Okay. So they go through what that means, how that will work, give it, some examples of prompts and how agent mode will work. The bit I always do with these announcements, which by the way, I'm going to leave you to read it. I'm not going to go all the way through it, but in the interest of time, I go all the way down to the bottom and have a look at when it's going to be available. So right now it's only available in the Frontier program. So that is kind of like a semi-private preview for specific customers of specific sizes. So that's where it is now. So it's not for everybody right now. And then there's no timeline on when it is coming to everyone else. So that's kind of what I mean. Like, it's good that they're doing it, but a lot of it is kind of it's the marketing message to kind of keep up with the industry, right? So, which is good, and I get it, and it's important. It's just for us, I'd say a bit of a guess. This is probably a year away from being something everybody with a Copilot license can do, but we'll see. All right, finally, in the couple of minutes that are left, I just want to talk about something else, because there isn't loads of those news, but I just want to showcase and talk about a book that I've been reading recently. And I'll put a link in the notes. The book is called Building a Second Brain, a proven method to organize your digital life and unlock your creative potential by Tiago Forte. I'll put a link in the notes. By the way, it's an Amazon affiliate link, so I will get some fraction of a penny if you click on it. But I mean, the kind of too long didn't read TLDR of this is that keeping notes is a good idea. So keeping structured notes in some kind of sensible note keeper that you can do things like searching and tagging is a good idea, and that kind of resonates. It makes sense. It's one of those things that, like, it's a really good habit to get into. A bit like planting a tree. The best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago. The next best time is today. Same thing with notes. The best time to do really good note keeping was like 20 years ago, all the way to now. But if not, start now. I use OneNote. You can do that. Like, I know people use Notion. I'm dabbling with Notion to see if it's better than OneNote and see if it's worth making the cut over. But the book goes through a kind of an implementation plan using like something that the author's come up with, which makes sense. It's good. It's worth reading. It's worth getting for ideas. But the kind of big takeaway is, keeping notes is a good idea and will serve you well in the future, which I'm kind of all behind. I think it's feel like it's one of those things we all do to a greater or lesser extent, well or not well. I don't do a great job of keeping notes. I do have like a notebook that is, probably 10 years old, OneNote notebook that I have kept over time, but I wouldn't say I note everything in it. Trying to get better at it. And then I might also implement some of the ideas around organization and structure that have come out of the book, because they seem like it's a sensible idea. All right. I think that's everything I want to talk to you today. Like I say, kind of a quiet one, but a good chance to talk through some of those things. Anyway, whatever it is you're doing, have a great week this week, and I will speak to you again next time.